let's go to the problem of the day, see what we've got happening there. All right, it says, two supplementary angles are in the ratio of 3 to 5. That's what that colon means, 3 to 5, all right? 3 parts to 5 parts, we will say. Find the measure of both angles. So we're going to look for degrees here. Two supplementary angles in a ratio of 3 to 5. Let's find their measure. All right, let's see what this is all about. What it's all about is ratios. And, oh, what's that word, supplementary? You folks who are in geometry class or have been in geometry class, or some of you have even been in just 8th grade math and 7th grade math, you're learning these words already. I know. It's part of the vocabulary, part of the vernacular. Look that one up. And supplementary means the angles will add up to 180 degrees. Now, sometimes I hear students say supplementary means they are 180. They add up to, all right, because both of those can't be 180. There would be a point in the problem. They're in a ratio of 3 to 5, right, folks? Right? You got it. Now, how are we going to do this? I'm not saying they're 3 or 5 degrees. I'm basically saying I'm using this ratio 3 to 5. Now, when I don't know what I'm talking about, you say, that happens a lot, Ernie, doesn't it? Well, when I don't know what degrees I'm looking for, what I have to do is I think about it, and ratio implies that I'm going to multiply the 3 by some number, and I'm also going to multiply that 5 by the same value. I don't know what it is, so I'll call it x, I can call it n, y, whatever, but these are going to be multiplied by the same value, all right, same value. So let's think about it. Two supplementary angles, 3x and 5x. These are going to be our two angles right there. 3x is going to represent the smaller one, and 5x will represent the larger one. What are we going to do with them? Well, what do we say about supplementary? They add up to 180. So here we go. We're going to have 3x plus 5x, and my friends, that will give us 180 degrees. That's where we're going. That's where we're going with this, all right? So now once we look at that situation there, what are we going to do? Easy. We're going to add the like terms. We're going to put the like terms together. I'm seeing 3x, I'm seeing 5x. 3 and 5, that's easy, guys. Gives us 8, and we bring the x along for the ride. Right there we are. 8x equals 180. All right. Now we're going to divide 180 divided by x, because we're looking for some number times 8 that's going to give us 180. So let's go to the calculator on this, because this one may have a little decimal action with it. Let's check it out here, guys. Let's see what we got. 180. Put a 0 in there, Ernie. There you go. And we're going to divide that little puppy by 8. And see what the big puppy comes up to. Oh, 22.5 is what our x is. Now, don't leave me gone here. That's not either of the angles. You see, that's what x equals. What am I interested in? I'm interested in what is 3 times 22.5. What is 5 times 22.5? Because that's what we're going to look for when we get these two numbers. We want them to add up to, you got it, 180. That's how we're going to check it. Plus the fact, the question is asking, find the measures of both angles, all right? So let's do it. Calculator, let's go back to the calculator, all right? Easy way to go on this, when you have, for example, see that 22.5 waiting right there? If you hit times on this great graphing calculator, it just says A and S. That means 22.5 just went in the memory, and you're going to use it right here, all right? Times 3, and that's going to give us one of the angles. It looks like one of those angles is 67.5, or 67 5/10. They're degrees, all right? They're degrees. You say, well, what about the other one, Ernie? Well, let's check it out. Now, you can't hit answer again on this calculator. What you got to do now is go back and say 22, because you've already set a new answer. It doesn't remember that far back. You've got a new answer now in there. So we got to go back to 22.5. We'll multiply it by 5. And you know what? We're going to get 112.5 degrees. Now my question is, do those add up to 180? And the fact is, when we add them together, they certainly do. 180 degrees. You know, we like it when they come out integral. We like x to come out nice, like 20 or 10 or 15, something that's got an integer attached. But sometimes we have to work with it. Hey, calculator does great things for us there. And that's still not too bad. That's a half a degree on both of those. 67.5 and also 112.5. And you know what? We've got our problem today solved.